Hey there guys, the PC guy here, and what is hopefully the first of a series of video of Q&A. I'll just be picking out comments, questions that were asked in comments and answering to those. So it's up to you guys to provide content for future episodes in this series if you're interested. Hopefully it's something that's useful for the rest of you guys, and I want to do this more in the future, which again will depend on your guys' feedback, on the questions that you guys post, and what you guys would like to know. So let's start off with the questions that have been asked the most on my videos in the past few months. A few answers to that I might have already answered in the comments themselves, but in any case, from now on I will try to collect a few and do a video whenever I have the chance and enough comments to answer to. Starting off with a question that was posed on my MSI Afterburner video, Expert Matter asks if it also works with his GTX 1050 Ti. So basically, Afterburner will work with pretty much any graphics cards out there. Even if you go back several years, it will still work with those. And there's even actually a few apps for example, Android and things like that, that you could actually also supposedly overclock phones and things of the like. But to answer the question, yes, it will work with your GTX. Doesn't matter which brand it is, doesn't really matter if it's factory overclocked or not. You can always squeeze out a little bit more, and it will most definitely work with any card that will be launched in the future as well. Now the next one is one that has been asked multiple times in a couple of videos, especially the older ones. I have answered to some of them in the past, but it's basically what was wrong in those videos with the sound levels and the spikes that it was. So like I have explained back then, and I'll just explain again, I was using a wired headset that the wire was a bit iffy. Every time I touched it in a certain way, the sound levels would spike like crazy, and at that point, there was like a 2-week period that I did not really notice that it was happening, so I was not paying attention to the sound levels. So yeah, you have a few videos from back around that time that the sound levels will be all over the place, and hopefully, and let me know if that's not the case by all means, hopefully in the most recent video since then that is not happening anymore. I'll maybe redo a few of those older videos for a bit of an improved quality, improved both sound and presentation and information wise, but for now rest assured that hopefully the sound level issue isn't really happening anymore. Next question, also overclocking related. After saving the profile and closing Afterburner after using OC scan, will the GPU retain the new settings, or do I need to leave Afterburner open or minimized? Thanks for the tutorial. Well, you're welcome. I'll try to do my best to keep useful tutorials like that coming. Regarding to your question, you do have to have Afterburner running in the background. It does not have to be maximized. You can set it, and that's what I personally do. I set it to come up and start up with Windows, so it just starts up minimized. It's just there. I don't have to look at it again. The profile loads automatically, so I don't have to load the overclocking profile myself, as long as you save it when you overclock, obviously. But in any case, yeah, if you do mean minimizing it out of sight, you can do that. If you mean closing it completely, no process running, then no. If you close Afterburner completely, then it won't be overclocking your card and you'll just be running your card at stock settings. Next question is a bit of a general one, and it is posted by YJN, and he's asking, could you make a noob guide for NVIDIA GPU overclocking for complete beginners? Well, overclocking is not really difficult as far as GPUs goes, to be honest, as long as you have the patience to troubleshoot it, but I will address a few key points that people have brought up in other comments that are not necessarily questions, but I feel like addressing them anyway, which is it safe to just pump up the sliders to the max as far as power draw and, well, power limit and voltage goes, and does not fry your GPU? And the answer to that would be no, because you are only sliding them up to the maximum that the BIOS is allowed. So what happens is the board partners get their cards from NVIDIA with a BIOS, and then they tweak the BIOS themselves to fit their cooling capabilities and how capable their coolers are and their power delivery systems and all those sorts of things. The other thing to mention is just take it slow. Just go in small increments, small megahertz jumps, like 25 or something at a time. Just go up from there and see when it starts giving you artifacts when you benchmark. If you want to stress test it, use some application like heaven superposition, something like that, something to stress the GPU. If you start seeing weird stuff on your screen, it's time to dial it back. It's that simple. There are no weird numbers that you have to look for or weird obscure settings in the BIOS. It's literally all in Afterburner and then making sure that it is stable. Bibin Krishnan asks, hi, thanks for the video, you're welcome. What is that fire wallpaper that you have? Do you have a special program needed to install and use those moving wallpapers? Well, yeah, I actually do, and I have a review for that a few months back. It's called Wallpaper Engine. You can get it on Steam, and it has quite an amount of those moving wallpapers. They're animated. There's some that even have sound or sound effects to it. Some are even interactive. You can make your own, upload your own, and there's a database of several thousands of them to pick from, so there's one for every taste. I'll leave the link for that video up in the description or at the end screen or something, or well, a card up here would also probably be nice, so you can look at it and see if you're interested to it. Not sure if there's other programs that also do that, but this is the one I know for sure that works and works well. Last question, it's not so much a question as much as it is a comment, and it kind of just proves the point that I was trying to make earlier with the power limits. Each brand will have a different power limit on their graphics cards. This is related to their cooling capabilities as well as to how far the particular card that they have built on their PCB, if it's a different one, can take the card, and the manufacturer feels confident that the card will not malfunction. So in this case, Chad's Galaxy's card 1660 Ti has a power limit of 107. My personal one does not go past 100 anyway. So this is a prime example of the differences in power limits and such. Again, it all depends on the settings that the manufacturers put there, and it will differ from card to card. And you will, once again, not really do anything crazy by putting the sliders to the max when overclocking, because the BIOS will prevent you from that. A little note that I might add to that is if you flash the BIOS, for example, which is moderately risky and you can break your card beyond repair if something goes wrong, putting a standard custom BIOS there will let you go past those limits. However, do it at your own risk, and I personally advise against it unless you really like to experiment and are prepared for the possible consequences. Now, these have been the first questions that I kind of plucked from my comments from the past several months, actually, as you might have noticed, to make a little Q&A episode. I would absolutely like to do it more regularly, but I do need your guys' help for that to happen. I needed to drop some questions in comments in any video, really. If you have questions about a particular video, just comment there, or you can comment here on this video if you have some specific question that you would like answered. There's also a post on the community tab on YouTube where I have asked for people to drop some questions if they have some for Q&A episodes. Hopefully after this video more people will do that, and I'll be able to do these videos on a bit more of a regular basis. You can also suggest videos for specific content that you'd like to see, specific tutorials or analysis or anything that I could look into for you guys. Or any other topics, even if they are not covered by my videos, you can ask questions about that. So just feel free to drop them down there, and I'll do my best to answer and help you guys find whatever you're looking for. So I hope you guys do that, and I hope you've enjoyed this video and this sort of videos that I'll hopefully have from now on. Drop a like and a comment if you did. That really helps with the videos getting visibility, but mind you, so please, if you would like to help the channel grow, please do that. And also consider subscribing if you like the rest of our content as well, and you would like to see us grow in the future. That's something that will really help, and I would be very grateful for that. Now, this has been Ethic PC Guy. I hope I'll see you in the next video. Have fun, and I'll see you later.